Hey everybody, it's Carol with Refunction Crafts, and I'm going to bring you a video where I am going to use this beautiful frame. My husband was going through, we've got a room in our house that we're trying to clean up and turn into actually my new craft room, if it ever gets done. And he found these frames that I've had for years and years. I had bought them a long time ago at Michael's. And I had them packed away in a box, and he found them and pulled them out for me. He thought that maybe I could do something with them, and of course, so I painted all three of them white, and we're going to work with this oval frame today. And this gorgeous, gorgeous image of this lady that I found, I enlarged it so that I could fit it into this frame. And it's going to be beautiful. So anyway, I'm excited to do this video today. I don't have my inspirational quote this morning, so we're gonna skip that part today. I hate skipping that, but we're gonna go ahead and do that. We're gonna dive right into this because I do have to work today, and I only have about an hour to do this before I have to get ready to go to work. So let's get started. One of the things that we're going to do, I have already conveniently cut this out so that it would fit into this frame. So what we're going to do is we're going to just go ahead and we are going to glue that on to the frame. And I'm going to do that using my hot glue. Now I want to make sure that she is sitting in exactly the right position that I want her in. She should be a little bit, maybe about like that, I think. Yeah, because she should be a little bit off center at the top because of the way her body is sitting straight up here. So I just want to turn this over, and we're going to try and quickly go around. Let's see if my glue gun heated up here enough. I just plugged in my glue gun a few minutes ago, so it's not super hot. But we're going to give it a try here. Just going to do small areas at a time. I'd like to be doing this a little quicker. There we go. It's coming out good now. But I want to make sure that this glue sticks all the way around, because I am putting resin on this and I don't want the resin to leak out behind the image. So we're going to try and do this quickly, because if I don't do it quickly enough, of course you guys all know this glue will harden before I press this down. But it's pretty hot, so I think we'll be okay. And I'm sorry about the weed eater outside. That's my husband. He's whacking weeds today, and I didn't bother to ask him not to. And just as I was getting ready to start my video, he started whacking weeds. So the worst part about it is I think he knew I was going to do a video. Maybe he's mad at me. So anyway, oh well, c'est la vie. Anyway, I think we can do this, and I don't think it'll disturb us too much. Let's see, did I get this edge here? I think I got it all the way around. Okay, so we've got that glued down, and then what I want to try and do is I want to resin the top of this. And I'm going to do that because I want to protect the image, and I'm going to add just the tiniest bit of glass glitter right across her lace right here on her dress, and I'm going to sprinkle just a tiny dusting of it in her hair in a couple of spots. Not very much, just a little bit. So, but the first thing we've got to do is put on, today we're going to use the gloves, because I don't want to deal with the resin on my hands. So let's put on our handy dandy blue gloves here. These are my Harbor Freight gloves. I think we got these at Harbor Freight. You can buy a box for like, I think they're like 10 bucks for a big box of them. So, okay, so we've got our gloves on. And hopefully, you know, part of me thinks I'm going to grab another container of resin just in case. Oops, I had it in here all the time. Okay. Where did I put it? There it is. I'm using my Let's resin, which you guys have seen me use in my other videos on my butterflies. And this is a UV resin. And I think I'm going to start out with this fresh bottle because it doesn't have any resin on the outside of the bottle, and it'll be a lot cleaner to work with right now. That is, if I can get it opened here. I just love this stuff, you guys. So this is what we're going to be using. It's called Let's Resin, and it's a UV resin. And I have my handy dandy UV resin lamp to cure this with. So, because this is glued down to this frame, it shouldn't bend or misshape or anything like that. So we should be good there. So we're just going to go ahead and I was thinking maybe I'll take this bottle too and just squeeze both of them to try and get this covered up quicker. We're not going to put a super heavy layer of resin on this, but enough to cover the entire image. And that may be enough. Let me get a brush here to just sort of brush it in. Brush it around. Get up to the edges here. And I want to make sure it's, you know, flat. And you can see as it soaks into the image, it actually adds a bit of richness to the image. I love this resin so much, you guys. I mean, I can't say enough about how it has helped me to recently just to create some really gorgeous, gorgeous butterflies. And I've used it on some other stuff. I've used it on some of my flowers, my paper flowers, and some of my other flowers to make them look more like porcelain. And it's really done an excellent job of adding to the look of my flowers too. So now I want to just sort of, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try and tap this down a little bit, and I think I need a little bit more at the top half of this. It feels like it's a lot heavier at the bottom than it is at the top, and I want to make sure that I have enough and that I can kind of even it out. So what I'm going to do here, oh, and of course now he's right up next to my window. My goodness. I'm so sorry, you guys. I have some bubbles in here, so that's the one thing I need to make sure that I get all of the bubbles out that I can, especially around her face. We don't want bubbles altering the look of this. So, and here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to sort of tap this down. Sorry, you guys, if that's shaking the camera at all. But I want to do that because I want to make sure that I get it as even as I can. Now, it's probably not going to be perfect because I don't have like a huge layer of resin on here. Let's go around the edges here. Make sure that the edges are nice and covered. And it looks really pretty good. Okay, so next I'm going to take my lamp, and because this is so big, it's going to be, I'm going to hold my lamp over the top of it, and I'm going to do this a couple of times so that I can get it all to cure. And I'm just going to kind of go back and forth here because I want it to all cure sort of at the same time. And the one thing that kind of stinks about this is that my table is awfully crooked. I mean, it's got a big bow in the center of it that kind of comes up in the middle. It's a terrible table. So I may have to put, I can see here along the edges where I may, well, you know what, I won't have to. It's just on the edges. And I'm going to be putting rhinestones around the edges of this. So I may not have to put an extra layer. Oh my goodness, you guys, I'm so sorry. Well, I may cut this little section out. I'll start the resin process and then cut part of this out because this is terrible. Okay, so he shut it off for a second, but I think it just died on him, so that's not going to last. I'm sorry, you guys. There it goes. I am going to put one more layer of resin over the top of this. It's just going to use a lot of my resin. And I hate to do that, but this is going to be a special piece. So I do want to make sure that it comes out the way that I truly want it to. So we'll just have to be a little more careful with how much resin I'm using on other stuff. There we go. But I do want this to look good. And the only way to ensure that is by making sure that I put enough resin over the top of it to cover and to even it out and really make it pop. So, trying not to get too many bubbles in this. That's something that it's easy to do, you guys, if you're messing with the resin too much. You will get more bubbles. So, I don't generally like to do too much of this, like this brush work in it, but I have to on this because it's a big piece. And I'm not using a flooding layer of resin in it. So, and you know, on your little things, it's a lot easier to keep everything even and to keep the bubbles out and all of this. On this big of a piece, it's a little harder to ensure that I'm getting those bubbles out. But I'm trying, you can see I'm kind of trying to go across her skin and pull them out if I see bubbles in there. One good way to get rid of some of those bubbles is to use a lighter. And with a lighter you can actually pop the bubbles. And you know, I have no clue where my lighter is right now, so I'm not going to be able to do that. So I'm using my handy dandy toothpicks to just go in here. I can see these little bubbles in certain spots, and I'm just going to pop them. Just like that. Honestly, I wasn't thinking I would get as many bubbles as I'm getting on this. So I didn't think I would need my lighter. But it's really not too bad. I think I'm going to be able to pretty much get the good majority of them out, and they're not going to show. I mean, they're teeny tiny bubbles. You guys probably can't even see them. But I definitely don't want them in there, so. Okay. I think we've got that pretty darn good. Look on her face really well. Just to make sure. I see a few in around here. Okay, I think the weed whacker is done. Yay. Okay. All right, you guys, that looks gorgeous, actually. So let's go ahead and let's cure this. Oh, I see one more right by her eye here, and we definitely don't want that there. And it doesn't want to pop. There we go. All right, let's get this thing cured. I'm just going to lay it over the top and let it do its work. I'm just going to kind of move it up and down a little bit and make sure that I'm getting all of the edges, and I will go ahead and do this a couple of times. And the one thing that you do want to do after you cure this resin, you want to let it sit for a minute before you touch the top of it, because if you don't, you'll end up getting fingerprints on it, and you definitely don't want fingerprints. So that's a big thing that you have to make sure that your patience perseveres over your excitement about doing the project, because just one little touch of your finger can ruin it. Well, you could always put another layer of resin over it and fix the problem, because another layer of resin, always remember when you're working with resin like this, another layer of resin will fix anything that you do to make a dent in it or a fingerprint or something like that. You just add more resin and let it cure again. So you're just using more resin that way. And so on a big thing like this, you kind of don't want to do that, but sometimes you have to. I've had to do it many times because I got too excited and didn't use my patience. So, okay, here comes the lawnmower next, you guys. So now we get to listen to the lawnmower. Okay, I'm going to shut you off for a second. Okay, so we've got her all resined up and she looks beautiful. The only place, and I don't know if you guys can see it, where I've got an oopsie is right here. There's a bubble. And it's kind of a big bubble, but it only comes up a little ways. So we're going to be able to cover that though, because I'm going to be putting embellishments around this edge. So it's going to be fine. The one thing that we're going to do is we're going to add rhinestones to the inside here. So that's going to cover part of it. And we're going to use our E6000 to do that. So hopefully this is ready for me to touch. I'm just going to add a layer, a very careful layer of E6000 around the inside. Not too much, because I don't want it to be too thick and oozy. So, trying to be careful here. You guys know E6000 can be messy to work with if you're not careful, so I don't want to get any strings that run across the front of this image. So I'm trying very hard to just get it on the inside lip of this thing. And now I'm going to try and be very careful with my rhinestones. I'm going to start them right here because this is about where I'm going to be putting, I know for sure I'm going to be putting embellishments, is right along this edge here. So that's where I'm going to start my rhinestones. Try and keep this going with me here. And here comes the lawnmower again. I swear sometimes he stops by this window just to do it on purpose. He's probably not, but I think sometimes he does. And what I may have to do, I don't know that I'm going to be able to do this video in the time that I have. So I may end up having to stop in the middle and restart later on tonight or tomorrow. So there we go. That went on absolutely beautifully. And we've got all of our rhinestones pointing up in the right direction, and they're all pressed up against the wall. So that's what that looks like. Isn't that gorgeous, you guys? And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add these pearls around the edge out here. And I think that's going to be absolutely gorgeous too. So I got this beautiful, beautiful thick thing of flat back pearls from my friend Kim, and oh my gosh, I've used them so much that I've almost gone through them now. So now after this project, I'm going to be a little more careful with these pearls. Thank you, Kim. I have enjoyed these pearls so much. I think I'm going to put some hot glue on this first one here. And again, we're going to start them right about here. And my hands are shaky, shaky today. And let's go with a little dot of hot glue for that pearl. And I want to keep it outside of the rhinestones here. So part of me is thinking maybe the hot glue is the best thing to do on this, but the E6000 will keep it. I have a little string of glue right there. There we go. Got it. but the E6000 is going to keep it down better in the long run. So I think along this edge I can work with it a little bit more because it's a little bit of a straighter edge than when I get around these corners. A little hot glue right there. Where it wants to pull in a little bit more, you know, up around these corners because they're a little bit tighter. Okay. This is going to be gorgeous, you guys. And right around here, I'm going to start using a little more hot glue again. Let's put a dot right here. Under that one. And just kind of pressing these down as I go. Because in minutes that E6000 starts to cure a little bit and does a little bit better. So as if I'm pressing it a bit as I go along, it will hold a little bit better. It'll start to hold better as I go, if that makes any sense. Put some hot glue right there. Untwist. Okay, and I think I need more hot glue right here. Just because that's a tight corner. Use a little bit of E6000. And we'll go with hot glue on that one. And just keep an eye on these ones with the E6000 that you're going back and you're pressing them down so that they're not lifting, because they'll start to lift a little bit, and you just have to keep your eye on that and keep going back and pressing them down. And now we're on our good edge where it's a little bit easier to control them. Or maybe not. I think I need a little bit of hot glue here. I just hope I can get it to stick now that I put the E6000 down. On that one, and I think I'm going to add a little more hot glue there. Should have put that down first. I don't know what I was just thinking there, you guys. And we're almost there to the finish line. Let's see, where am I going to cut this? Right here. So let's get that cut made real quick. All right. And a little E6000. And a little hot glue. Oh, you guys, this is going to be so gorgeous. I can't wait to get it done. I'm really kind of hoping I can get it done on camera today. because that means I can put up the video. Oh, that's just a little bit tight right there, so I have to hold that down for a minute. Okay, look at that. Beautiful. Oh my goodness. She is going to be gorgeous. I was so happy and excited when I saw that my husband had pulled out these frames, because it was something different that I could do. And I was thinking I'd put this. Oh, you know what I didn't do, you guys? I didn't put down my diamond dust. Oh well. I think I'm going to just leave that alone. We'll just leave it the way it is. Okay, so let's see. How do we want this to go? Like that. And then I thought maybe I would use this flower down here. And then I want to take and use some of my Kiki's flowers up here. But I'm wondering if I should just use my paper flowers on this one, because they really are gorgeous. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm just plugging something in real quick. Okay. Because I've got so many of these pretty Kiki's flowers here that I'm dying to use. And I'm actually starting to run low on them, but it's okay. I've got plenty to use in this project, and I think these will really, really set off this picture. Although I do love that lace flower that I did. This is really gorgeous. I love this one. But I think that these flowers are going to be more appropriate for this piece. It's just coming out so gorgeous, and I don't want to compromise. And then I'm also thinking I'm either going to use that one or that one at the top of this. Isn't that gorgeous? So now I need to figure out which way do I want to put this piece of lace. I'm thinking something like that, and then maybe, I know I've got some smaller ones in here somewhere. Something like that. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh my gosh. And then I want to use this. I'm thinking I might just put a couple of my flowers down up here, kind of like that. And then I want to have this little bit coming out on that side. I only have one piece of that. So I'm just kind of stuck with, the only thing is this is kind of muted or kind of real vintagey, and the rest of this is a little whiter lace. So maybe I should just go with like that, and maybe we'll just go in this direction on this side. Like that. Oh, yay! I love it. I love it. I love it. Maybe I'll add that one in there. I don't know. We'll see. But we're going to go ahead and go with this, you guys. I'm just thinking. Hold on. 1 second, because I have some of my wedding laces and stuff here in front of me, and I'm wondering if I might have something better to use at the top section there. This one's a good one, and it actually matches this. Maybe go with that, sort of like that. Kind of can't see it much there. It's got a couple of strings on it. And we glue this pearl down. And now we have the blower, you guys. I'm not kidding. I think he really is doing this on purpose. I am so not kidding, you guys. And we'll put that coming out from there. Get these pretties down like that. And one flower in there. Yeah. Okay, so let's get to gluing. There. And I'm going to put this flower right there. And this little piece of lace we're going to put right, sticking out right there. That way we've got some pearls popping out that side too. Let's get these down. This is the quick part, you guys. This I can do sort of in a snap. And I've got strings coming off of my glue gun. That one right there. And actually I think I'm going to put there or there. I think I need to put that there. Okay. We do not need that lace. Got that pretty heart too, but I just don't think it really goes with this. We'll see. So let's get this piece of lace glued down, and again that's going to go right about there, so I'm just going to sort of pick the pieces that I want to glue down. And we've got some loose pearls right here, so I'm going to glue those down real quick. And I'm just trying to use the lightest amount of glue that I can so that I don't have a whole lot oozing outside of the lace. And this lace has some thicker areas where I don't have to really worry about that happening. So there we go with that. And that flower is going to go right there. We're going to get a good amount of glue on that. Put that one there. I love these flowers. You guys need to get over to Kiki's and go shopping. She's like me, she's had a little bit of a slowdown in her in her shop, and I'm not quite sure why. I can't even imagine. But she's trying to get some new customers coming in, and I need to help my Debbie out because, you guys, I'm telling you, you're not going to find prettier embellishments. Look at these roses, how gorgeous they are. Oh my goodness, I am so excited every time I get my packages from Debbie, because she has the most beautiful. Look at these. These are rose buds. I'm going to add some of these in here too. I forgot to pull these out. Look at those. And these are just buds. I'm just going to pull a few of these out because we definitely need rose buds, right? Okay, and then I want to situate some of them. I've got 4 there, and I kind of like that look right there. If I can just get them to stay in that pattern, I will be happy. So I'm going to cut this right about there. And of course they all untwisted. I don't know why that happens every time. I've got them twisted, and I think I've twisted them enough, and then they untwist. As soon as I cut them, they untwist. Okay, so there's that. Or maybe, well, we'll just add that one in. So I'm gonna start. See, I've got that too long. Okay, those stayed together. So I'm going to pop that. Let's lift up that leaf. I'm going to pop that in there like that. And we're just going to glue right under those. And we're going to add this other one too. Right there. Okay, so that's that side, and maybe I can get this side to do a little bit better from the get-go. And I think these I don't know if I want them to go up here. Yeah, I want those at the top as well. Okay. And I've got a little more space to glue these in on this side, so we're just gonna add some glue there. Stick that in there, just like that. And then I'll pop a little bit more glue under these. Isn't that gorgeous, you guys? And then I wanted to add this white flower in somewhere. I think I'm going to put that not there. Whoops. Pulled it right out because I've got a spider web of glue there. Would it look better there? No, I think I like this right here. Okay, so there's that. And then this came from my friend Deanna Grooms. Is that not gorgeous, you guys? Oh my goodness. And I also got this from Deanna. And I love this. But I have to decide which one goes best with this, and I really think that one does, because it just, the colors and everything, it just feels, that one feels right to me. Or I could pop it down here at the bottom. That looks really pretty too. I'm gonna get into my gems here. Let's see, I've got this little crown too. Let's see. Oh, I've got that pretty piece too. I think that gets lost in there. And this piece I got from Deanna too, and I'm not going to waste it in a space where it's not going to be noticed. No, don't want gold in there. Okay, so I think we're going to go ahead with this one up at the top. Just want to decide where exactly do I want to place it. There or up? I think it needs to go up. I do have a couple of glue strings here. I'm just still trying to be careful not to touch this too much. But it is actually okay at this point. So we're going to go ahead and get our E6000 out. And we're going to commit with this piece of bling. Going to make sure I get plenty of glue on there. Maybe a little up here too. I'm always worried that I'm not going to get enough E6000 on something and then I'm going to be sad because it falls off or something, which really I've never had trouble with getting the, oh, and I wanted to add a little bit of hot glue. Sorry, you guys. Almost forgot that part. Okay. There we go. And let's see. I wish that I would have put together a bow ahead of time, but I didn't. So let's quickly make a bow for this. I'm hoping I can get this piece of beautiful lace to work. As long as it's long enough to give me a couple of little hanging pieces at the bottom, I'm going to be very happy. Because it doesn't need to be a big, huge bow. Something like about that. Let's see. A little more left hanging on this side. Okay, and then I just need to find something to tie this off with. Let's see, where's my string? Oh, where did I put it? We're gonna just use this little piece of pink string. This will work just fine. Just a little piece of yarn. You don't always need the matching lace or whatever. You can use string or whatever for the centers of your bows. Look at how pretty that is. And then embellish the top of the bow with something and you're good to go. So I've got that tied off. And let's see. Let's cut the edges of this. I think it needs to be about right there looks good. I have a little piece of lace left over. This lace is so pretty and soft. I love it. I wish I had some more of it. But this was just a small piece that I got. And those are the pieces that I kind of saved for something special. And I just thought this was a special project. And we have a beautiful bow. So now we just need to figure out, do I want to put a flower in the center of that? Or maybe like that. That looks pretty. But I feel like it fades into it a little too much. I don't think I have anything. I have some of these buttons. Button covers, I should say. That might be pretty. Let's see. Okay, I've got to get to hurry in here because I've got to go get ready for work. Look at that. If it was in blues, that would be pretty. I have this cameo. That's actually quite pretty in there. I think we're going to use this. And this is actually a pin. So instead of cutting off the pin, I think I'm going to just stick that through there, and that way if somebody purchases this in my store and decides they want to put something different in there or use this pin for something else, they could do that. But I hope they don't want to, because it just looks so pretty the way it is. And then let's see, how do we want this to go in here, you guys? Or maybe on this side. That's too bulky, you guys. I can't do that. Too bulky. Maybe I just need to put a flower in the center of this and do it like that. I have these little small pink roses. That might be better, a little more subtle. And actually that would go good there. So I think that's what we're going to do. I'm going to cut off this stem. And glue this on here. Just like that. Look at my clock to see where I'm at. Shoot. I gotta hurry. And I can see I do have some bubbles in this resin that have kind of shown through, but when you're looking at it like this, you can't even see them. So they're gonna be fine. And we're gonna put our bow right there. Oh, thank you. Oh, wait till you guys see this. I got something to show you. My husband just brought me in a new beautiful box that he made for me. Let me get this on here. Look at this. Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. Thank you, hon. Look at that. This is a new box. Look at how beautiful that is. He did splines on the edges. Look at that. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. I think the bottom half is probably gonna get another spray, but it is gorgeous. Oh, and I want to show you guys too. Jeff made some flags, and I wanted to show you guys that they're in my shop. I've got 2 of them. That's all I've got for right now. But he made these flags, these wooden flags. So I've got 2 of them in my shop if anybody's interested. They're wall hanging flags. And he makes these in his wood shop, and they're beautiful. They're all finished off. He cuts them out on his CNC machine, and they are gorgeous, you guys. These usually sell really fast, so I'll just let you guys know we've got them in the shop, and there are 2 available. And I still have some buttons in my shop, and I also have one more button that I'm going to add to my shop that is done in Spanish. The Mothers Hold Everything Together buttons. So I'm going to have one in Spanish, and then I have, I think, 3 or so that are in English. So I did already sell one of the Spanish ones. I had a friend that made a request. My friend Robin made a request for one in Spanish, so we did one for her, and we thought maybe it was a good idea to put some more in Spanish. So Jeff was able to get one more done. Okay, you guys, so I gotta get these glue strings off of here. I'm sorry, I'm using my shirt, you guys. It's okay, it's my crafting shirt, so it can get stuff on it. Okay, so that is our picture, and then I think what I'm going to do as a hanger for this, I actually like, let's see, this lace. I think this lace would be good, so I think what I'm going to do, that's what the back side looks like, just so that you know. And then take, oh goodness, I just dropped something. Okay, that's all right. I'm going to take this felt, and I'm going to make 2 smaller circles with it, because I don't need big circles. And the felt works nicely if you're adding a hanger to something, as long as it's a lightweight item, and this is pretty lightweight, you guys. It's not real heavy, so this should hold it just fine the way that we're going to do this. Even those buttons, I was able to do the same thing with the buttons, and used the felt and the wire cord, and it worked great. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I think I want to get like a bow at the top of this. How am I going to do that? Let's see. Let's see if I can figure this out, you guys. I'm just going to try and tie a bow here. Just a small bow. This lace is a really pretty pink, too. It's not too bright and not too pale. And it goes nice with the flowers that I've added to this, so I think it'll be good. Okay, so just a little bow like that. And I'm going to cut that off. And then I'm thinking if I put this well, maybe I should just cut that in the middle. That would have been easier to do from the get-go. And then have the bow up here at the top. And then we'll just add this however it's going to look right. So we don't want this to be too long. Nope, I'm not happy with that. So I think I'd rather just You know what? Maybe we'll use this. I think this will work better. It's a little stronger and it's a little thinner. And I think this will look good. What do you think, you guys? I think that's better. So I just need to determine sort of where I want it to come from. Maybe from there to there. Yeah, and we don't want this to be too long. So I'm just going to cut this right at about this rose here. And I put too much glue on that, so I'm not going to touch it with my finger. And we'll cut this off. And we're going to glue this down just like that. Make sure I've got it all turned the right way and at the length that I want it. I think that's a little bit too long. Let's see, right about there. And we're just going to glue this right down. Just like that. And then what did I do with my two little felt circles? Oh, I found one. There's the other one. And these are actually going to need to be smaller. Oh, my poor doggy. She's got asthma. So she does a lot of that hacking stuff. And it seems that the older she gets, the worse it's getting. Poor baby, she's 13 years old. So I don't know how much longer I'm going to get to enjoy this baby, but we're spoiling her. Okay, and I'm just going to take a little bit of glue on this piece of felt, and I'm going to put it over the top of that. And that just helps to ensure that it's stuck down really well. I'm putting plenty of glue on the felt because I want it to stick around the edges of that rose that's in this trim. Get off that extra glue there. Okay, there we go. All done, you guys. I need to get some glue strings or cobwebs out of this, but other than that, that is our finished piece. Isn't it gorgeous, you guys? I love it, love it, love it. There we go. And this is our hanger. And I think it turned out absolutely spectacular. So that's it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video today. I am so thankful to have all of you here, and thanks to everybody who has subscribed to my channel. I appreciate each and every one of you, and if you're not already subscribed, please, if you like this video and want to see more of my videos and get notified when I put them out, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you'll get notified when I do new videos. And I'm doing a lot of videos these days, so stay tuned. I've got some more really great ones coming up, and I would really appreciate each and every one of you if you'd just hit that subscribe button. It'd be great. I'm working on getting up to 8,000 subscribers, and as soon as I hit the 8,000 mark, which is a couple hundred more subscribers, I will be doing a really great giveaway. So share my videos with your friends and family. Maybe they'd like to see them too and enjoy doing some crafting. And let's see. Oh, and my April winners for my Etsy shop, I will be announcing those very shortly here. I just have to get the time to do that video, and I need to get into my Etsy shop and pull out all of the the shoppers that spent 25 and more, and those who spent 50 and more, and you guys will be entered into that raffle. And goodness, and we'll be all set. So I will be doing that hopefully within the next week. I've got a lot of work days this week, so unfortunately I don't have a ton of extra time. But I will be getting on that very shortly here so that you guys will know who the winners are. And then I will also at that time be announcing what my May giveaways are. And those are going to be really great too. I think I'm going to be giving away one of my heart boxes that I did a couple of videos ago. And then I'm going to come up with another giveaway for the $25 winners. So anyway, look at this, you guys. God bless each and every one of you. Take care. Be safe. Be well. And oh, make a comment down below. You guys, I need those comments and I need those thumbs up. Those are what helps me so much. You guys have no idea how much that helps with me getting YouTube to put my videos in front of more people. And the more thumbs up I get, and the more comments I get, the more people they put me in front of, and it gets me more active in the algorithm. So you guys, I would so greatly appreciate it. I'm going to start, I think what I need to do is start doing a giveaway based on how many thumbs ups I can get on a video. That might be fun to do. I think I might do that. But I would really greatly appreciate it, you guys, because I'm really trying hard to grow my channel and to get things moving even faster here, and get to a point where maybe I don't have to work a regular job and I can just do this for a living. It would be awesome. But anyway, you guys, please, thumbs ups, comments, likes, whatever I can get, I greatly appreciate it. And you guys, again, take care, be safe, be well, be kind, and I will see you in the next video. Stay tuned for pictures at the end of this video. Bye-bye. God bless you all.